You're gonna have to pay for that broken window.
Yes.
Uh-oh, yeah.
Just send me a bill. Send me a bill. So, yes, do not.
Prime, blame it on EE Prime.
Do not adjust your sets. Do not adjust your phones. Do not adjust your Rokus or whatever you're watching us on. Yes, this is Breaking the Mold coming to you on a Monday night. Tonight, we're going to be the best part of your Monday, hopefully. Hopefully not the worst part. So, what's up, everybody? Harrick and BX here. And let's just go around the yard and say what's up to the rest of the crew. Brink, I'll start with you, brother. What's up?
I'm good. I am about to partake in my last Suicide Blonde IPA left over.
Oh, look at you.
Won't see it again till my next trip down to Maryland. Pretty sad.
You Maryland boys, ship some
Your
suicide
next,
blinds to
your
Brian.
next trip to Maryland, you make it sound like you don't go like 8 times a year.
I've only been 3 times this year.
Okay.
3!
I'm just
3
kidding.
times. But the year's not over. But
It's not yet.
That's right. Not even close. Got 2 more of these damn months to go.
There you go.
And then it's on to 2022.
Well, how many of those in particular did you work through tonight?
It's the last one. I
That's
found
it.
it in the cooler.
Oh, there you go.
I finally took the cooler out of the car, Jose, and there's 3 beers rolling around in there. I was like, oh, sweet, 3 beers.
Nice. All right, finish. You got to finish those off. All right, Dominic, what's up, dude?
Brian's bag of goodies. As we stood there in front of Sliders, Brian had this little bag that he dipped into. Like Hermione, it was a Hermione in her pocketbook. There was like just an endless shots, couple books.
It's amazing how many you could fit in those bags. Yeah,
I
man.
was wondering. I was like, how many fucking beers does he have in there?
You brought enough.
Enough.
Exactly.
How you guys doing? I'm doing good. My weekend was great. What was it? It was Halloween this weekend, right?
Yes. Halloween.
Enjoyed. Just watching the kids. There was a lot of kids out this year. I think they were making up for last year. So I just want to wait for all the ring videos that are going to come out where people put their bowl of candy out saying take one, and you see all the kids just grab all of them. The first, whatever kid grabs all of them.
So, Dom, you're exactly. You're exactly right. I've
those
seen
videos.
them already.
You've seen them
Yeah, and some of them has sound too. And these kids, man, they got some foul mouths.
I haven't even seen those.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing. Don't
Yeah.
say that. I'm gonna have to go down that rabbit hole now.
My sister-in-law did it, and her ring. There was 3 girls that came by, and they're like, "Oh, look, chocolate!" And they just went through the whole bowl and pulled all the chocolate candy out and left all the
Dude, that happened to me, man. I bounced out. We have the ring cam up. We left the bowl of the candy fucking gone in 15 minutes, bro. 15 minutes. 3 little boys took all. They went once, went up the block, and came back and said, we'll just take these people candy. Took all the candy. All the candy.
Oh, dude, yeah, they just mentioned.
If I could share the video with you guys, I wish I could. I would have thought of this to have it ready. It's hysterical. Because you hear the kid like, come on, man, don't take it all. And they're like, who cares? Nobody's here. Like, you hear them talking.
See,
Little fucking motherfuckers, bro.
what they do when they think no one's watching. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, little dumbasses.
Well, that's what Dom was just saying. Like, apparently, you could probably just go to YouTube and peep all these kind of videos. So I'm gonna go and peep that later just to see these little motherfuckers just grabbing fucking candy.
I just want to see a kid just go like.
What's worse is the after that, right? The kids that come and you see them with their cute costumes, look in the bucket, then look all disappointed. They're like, no candy, or they ring the bell anyway because they're like, oh, there's no candy in the bowl. Let me ring the bell. And they're just waiting, and there's nobody there. It sucks. Like, it's like so sad.
Yeah. Oh, Brian, did you have a lot of trick-or-treaters? You didn't mention any.
I had more this year than I've ever seen in the 10 years that I've been here. There had to have been maybe 40, 50 kids, and I have no candy left. Like, I had some M&Ms and some Twizzlers and one of them those Reese's Take 5 type of things. It's the only thing I could scrape for myself. It's kids, man. I was looking at the kids coming up from the block, and I was looking at this bowl. It's like, God, I hope there's enough in there. I might run out for the first time ever, but it was fun.
All right, nice.
I was wearing my Elliot costume that I had, and the kids are like, I don't know what that is, and the parents are like, you know what that is? They're like, I have no idea.
At least the parents knew. Yeah. It's before their time. These kids don't know what it's about, you know. All right, G Money, what's up?
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, my wife was out of town for the weekend. I think she was visiting Dave in New York, right? So I didn't pick her up till
Wow.
So we live in one of those neighborhoods now that they take it pretty seriously. So like last year, Christina set up she had like the cooler and like the lawn chairs at the end of the driveway with like the little, alcohol shots for like parents and stuff. And that's kind of a thing here. Like there's a lot of golf carts in this neighborhood, so people decorate their carts and drive around that way. And the parents want to share stuff, and so I went out. I was just here by myself, so I went outside and drive for probably about 25 minutes. And it was pretty steady, and then I kind of gave up. I'm like, it's kind of boring by myself, sitting here doing this. So I did the same thing. I left the bowl out, and it was like it was fine. It wasn't too bad. So.
Did you see anybody grabbing more than they should have?
No, it wasn't. I think because the parents are around, there's a lot of like younger kids that are not by themselves just yet in that preteen thing.
Okay.
So, yeah, so it was fine. It was fine. It just wasn't as terribly exciting as it was last year. So,
Well, Gary, you didn't have like trail mix and like protein snacks in there.
no,
for
I
the kids.
don't do that nonsense. I do peanut butter cups and like candy bars. I don't even
Alright.
do anything that's not like chocolate. Yeah, listen, nobody wants that nonsense, right?
I tell you what was crazy. I had some almond joys in there because it was a one of those assortment bags, and the kid's like, oh yeah, I love almond joy, and I'm thinking to myself, this kid's sick.
Right.
Yeah.
You might as well hand it out those like bit of honeys or like
I mean, to me, coconuts are the onion of the candy world. So I was just like,
Yeah.
I'm with you, Brian. I'm with you. But I like
Totally.
onion stuff. All right. The king of all meat bags himself, JD. What's up, dude?
Hi. What's up, friends?
How are you tonight?
Still on my weekend, so
Oh,
that's kind of cool. Yeah.
Nice.
a weekend,
Yep.
JD.
Yeah. But it was pretty good. Worked Saturday, and we're building. We're busy. We're
Got 2 weeks.
playing with foam, and we got 2 weeks, and we're just busting out everything we can.
That's
So that's
2
pretty
weeks
much
till
it. We're just watching movies and hanging out, painting and cutting, and nobody cut themselves yet
nice.
that I know
Very
of.
good.
So
Yeah.
And that's 2 weeks till Legion's Con, where
yes, till Legion's
Shelf
Con.
Gravy and Crashbox and many other friends will be.
Mhm.
is that the day after ToyCon?
Yep.
It is basically ToyCon's 2 days. Legion Con is technically the Sunday, the second
Gotcha.
day.
Yeah.
They
What
have a whole
Brian
space
said.
reserved for it. So remember that one time when they did it and they had that little like
It's in the
kind of
hallway,
locker room type thing.
Yeah, it was like a little office.
Yeah.
What are they doing in the gymnasium? Are they going to do?
Well,
gymnasium?
I would
Yeah.
imagine
Oh,
if it's ToyCon, it's that one.
Yeah.
Remember that one time we went to the Wayne show and
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
in
yeah.
that like cafeteria looking place?
Mhm.
I have a feeling it's that room. Or it's
that
gonna be.
kind
The Legion Con was what you brought the castle to, right, JD?
Yep.
That one
Yeah.
time? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they don't have it at the Parsippany anymore. They stay at the Wayne Pack Hall thing that they do.
Yeah. That Wayne spot is pretty dope though. Like the
is.
the gyms, it's pretty big, pretty nice. I dug it.
I'm looking forward to it not being 100 degrees. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Remember that? What was that?
Yeah.
May? When was that?
Yeah.
May we went? 100
Was it
degrees
that-
in May.
Was it that one room? Was that the It's the one that had that long line outside.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. All
Yep.
the way outside. Yep.
Stood outside for a couple
hours.
hours.
You stayed outside a long time, JD. I remember that. You were like next in line for like 30 minutes.
Yep.
I remember that.
Yep.
So,
But yeah,
So,
just
so you
keep him busy.
had a good Halloween. Had a lot of people, a lot of kids knocking on the door.
No, we didn't turn our lights on. We don't want people coming here.
Leave us
Jeez, my
alone.
amp.
Leave us alone.
That's our candy, goddammit.
I'm not sharing.
I saw them on the internet. They'll cook us for dinner.
Yo, you don't go to that door. That place is haunted. You're gonna leave there with some bad juju.
Yeah. I don't get no kids knocking on the door over here either. So I guess they usually just hit the local stores. They don't do the apartments like out
No,
here.
and I think like yesterday we ran out because I guess they did it last night. Like we had to run out and take care of a couple things and buy some paint and all that stuff, and they were out at that time, so it was like whatever. So we weren't even really here.
Yeah.
So
Well, I did see that photo shoot, a couple of those photos that were posted and stuff like that. So that looked pretty dope. Like you, Chan,
Yeah.
and Mike and Vanessa.
yeah,
JD,
yeah,
there's probably a few myths about your house that you don't even know about.
probably. Yeah. Yep. I mean, I like, when I first moved in here, it was like kids would walk by, "Hey, mister, that's a big house." Da, 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 da. And I'm like, "Yep, you don't want to mess with it. It's freaking haunted." They're like, "Oh," and then they'd run away.
They turn little boys into dogs and keep them in
Yeah,
that house.
that's right. We bake them into dog treats. Be climbing my
Nice.
goddamn fence.
Oh man. Well, nice, dude. Nice. Well, keep him busy. That's good to hear, man. Good to hear. Big con coming up in a couple of weeks. I'm sure we'll be talking about that. So, all right. Next up, Energon Addict. What's up, Pop?
Today's Monday, so I'm kind of like not the day from Tuesday because I don't know how to be sober on Monday. So just letting you guys know. That Monday night delight. That's right.
Yep. With the
Nah, I
best
just
part
came
of your
back from dinner with the wife and had a few glasses of wine. So you guys know me. I'm a cheap date. So that's where I'm at.
Nice, nice. How was dinner? Had a good dinner?
Yeah, it was good, man. Had some Thai food.
All right. Thai food. My niece loves that stuff. I tried it. Like, I think I had some pad Thai with her, but I did not enjoy it. It wasn't.
we went for Thai food. You, Dave, and EE Prime and I a couple
Yeah.
years ago when I was in. Remember?
Well, that was pretty good. Whatever I had there, I guess it was fine. But what I had with my niece, I didn't like it. I didn't enjoy
We
it.
just have to remember what you order, Jose, and remind
Yeah.
you what to order, what not to order, so you make the right choices
Yeah.
based on the kind of food we're eating.
I was like,
Right choices.
my taste ain't too exotic.
No, it's true.
Unfortunately, yeah. Seriously, gotta keep that in mind. Ribeye instead of prime rib. I'll always
That's
remember
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
that. Oh man.
Big difference.
So Dave, you mentioned that you had dudes taking too much candy from your door. You're leaving candy on the outside. Just
I
letting
mean-
these-
Yeah, so we not that my neighborhood you can't go trick or treating in. It's just there's people that drive stupid on the main avenues here. So I'd rather take my daughter to my mother's neighborhood, which is a few miles away, and they close the streets off there. They'll actually the police department closes a few blocks off, and you can walk with your kids in the street, and go house to house. So every house there kind of participates, which is nice.
Mhm.
So it was great. We went trick or treating, my daughter and my brother and his daughter. And but while we're out, I have the Ring doorbell set up and my phone's dinging like crazy because people are ringing the bell. So I'm like, why the fuck are these kids still ringing the bell if the fucking bowl's out the front? You know what I mean? I left
Don't
the
want to
huge
let you
bowl
know. Don't want to let you know it's empty.
And guys, I'll take a picture of it later. It's a big fucking steel fucking bowl. It's like we filled it to the brim, and within an hour, people are ringing the bell. So I said, "What happened?" So my wife went back and looked at it, and she called me last night to come downstairs. This is late last night. I had looked at the video. I seen like the poor kids, like I said, oh, we no more candy, guys. And then she showed me the video of the 3 little boys that took everything, and we were like, oh my god, I can't believe they did that.
Did they at least have costumes?
No, that's the other thing, Brian. Like
they're kids in tracksuits.
Huh.
Yes, they're like wearing they each have a mask in their hand. Like what I mean? Like it's not even like if they were dressed up, whatever. But so, if you're gonna be 15 and you're still gonna be fucking doing that, like come on.
Yeah, just took your candy.
I hope you get fucking cavities, man.
Toothpaste ain't anything to fuck with.
Now.
What we did though was when we got back, my daughter had enough candy. We wound up, taking a lot of her candy out and putting it back in there.
Okay.
Just in case. So it went too. Like, within 20 minutes it was gone. That's how many trick-or-treaters there were out this year.
So she's not gonna ask you for that candy later? Be like,
Nah,
where's my
she
candy?
has plenty. She has plenty. She has plenty, and me and the wife, like, we were both like, look, we got to start doing better. So I'm glad this candy's out the house, So
Yeah.
So Dave, can I ask, like, does she get free ringing of that, or is it like it gets put up somewhere and then she has to ask you for it?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
She gets put somewhere. Can I have candy? And it's
Okay.
And it's also like candy that we looked at first. You know what I mean? So some of that shit got dumped even after we put it back in the bowl. Like we're like, oh, you're not eating that, Plus she has allergies too, so that. So all the peanut butter cups and stuff my wife took.
Yeah, I love the peanut butter cups, man. The Reese's peanut butter cups.
Oof, that's rough.
See, I felt bad. I procrastinated getting candy, and so all that was left was like chocolate assortments. Like I said, I did have some Twizzlers and stuff, but like I usually like to have some other types of candy for the kids who don't want chocolate, like Jolly Ranchers and stuff like that.
You got to buy all Almond Joy so that way you won't touch them.
Oh.
So I know I won't touch it. Yeah. God. Nah, I'll be downstairs watching TV, like nibbling the chocolate off the sides and just eating almonds.
So have any of you guys ever
spent coconut nuggets, throwing them in the trash?
I can picture that.
What are those sucked pieces of coconut in the corner of the room? What the fuck?
Hey, Brian, got anything to eat in here?
Go outside, feed them to the
There's a pile
birds.
of coconut over there.
The birds won't even eat them. They got piles of fucking coconut.
Yeah, coconut is nasty in candy. I don't like that.
It's good.
Do you guys do you usually do like any like Halloween traditions like with the movies and stuff? Because usually just playing them all weekend and stuff like that. So do you like settle in for like the Halloween marathon or whatever they might happen to be playing on TV? Nah.
Nope.
Hey, so I tried looking for something like I wanted to watch Ghostbusters. Because the proton pack thing's up, I'm not buying it, but like I'm getting amped, right? Like the Afterlife movies come, I want to watch Ghost, not available for free streaming. I'm not digging out the DVD. I don't know where the hell it is. And like I'm looking through, I'm like, and then I was like, Batman Last Halloween or Long Halloween is on HBO Max,
yeah.
and so I did get through the first half of that, and I did watch. That's actually just pretty good movie. I'm digging it.
And I was saying no to Kenneth's comment. Not that we don't, but like we watch horror movies all the time.
So not just a Halloween tradition.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I've been watching dumb shit just cause it's Halloween. Like, I think I watched Creepshow Part 2 the other day, and I was just like, "This is
that one's so good."
Hey, yo,
it's so good. That one, I love that one.
So good, bro. I stared at the screen and fucking like I was like, "Yo, am I this fucking high that I'm watching this shit?" Like I had to talk to myself that I was like that one with the blob in the water.
Yeah.
The big plastic
and they
bag.
can't get. Yes, the plastic fucking bag. I'm fucking staring at this thing, and I'm like, I can't believe I'm doing this right now. I can't believe I'm watching this.
The I just love that that Camaro that they have.
Oh yeah, the one that just sits there and they leave behind because of
Exactly. They get eaten. That's so good. It's good.
yeah. But I just watched I would love to have watched the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown,
Oh, yeah.
like stuff like that. That used to be like on like on replay like on channel 2 or 7 back in the day.
Yeah.
But you don't see that shit no more. You got to look it up and see when it's playing. But
So I was gonna watch the Elvira movie,
tradition,
but then,
that movie for Halloween, and then the Christmas tree one for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
You were gonna say something, Gary? I'm sorry.
I was gonna say I'd like to watch I was gonna watch that Elvira movie, but then I realized I'm a grown man and I can go and look at porn anytime I want, so I don't have to do that anymore. Just kidding.
Elvira.
Wow.
You just want to see some titties?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Mistress of the Dark. Mistress of the Dark. Yeah, I think I think AMC was playing, so I think they had the Halloween marathon. So I was just hearing that theme like
I
all
think
weekend.
FX had like the Simpsons Treehouse of Horrors, like running through all the seasons, like right one after the other. I
All
watched a little
Halloween
bit of that.
episodes?
Yeah.
Oh,
Just,
nice,
like,
yeah.
right after each other. So
Yeah.
watching how it was really crazy because you can see like how the animation changed every season from season to season. And as it goes more like into 13, 14, 15, you're like, oh my god, it's like watching the first one is like,
How far did you get, Don?
I think I did. I think I stopped at like 15. Like it was like a couple of hours. Like I was watching.
Because I hadn't watched them in years. I
Couple
started
hours.
watching them late, like at 15. So
Yeah.
I was watching 15, 16, like that, like and further.
I watched one. I started at 1, and then I stopped at 15, like 14, 15. So
I was watching one where Homer was like just eating everybody in town. Did you ever see that one?
I see that one. Yep.
And he's like, "Oh, the Germans are battered in beer batter. He's eating Germans. He's eating teenagers. It's like sick.
What the hell?
Fucking
I
Homer,
love it,
man.
like they gave like the disclaimers at the beginning. This is not suitable for everybody.
For real? They got
yeah,
a disclaimer
oh,
for
yeah.
The Simpsons now.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
especially like in the beginning, like there was a couple times where Marge would come on and just like this is a little bit unsuitable for a horror, and like their heads chopped off, people eating each other, so they had to give them a disclaimer.
Yeah. Don't want to shock the kids. They'll probably still be shocked anyway. Like whatever. Yeah. All right. So, Gary, you had brought up some interesting topics in the chat.
Yes.
You want to throw it out there?
Yeah, so I was legit thinking over the last, having just gone to TFCon, right? And it's just kind of interesting time, right? A little bit that you've heard of jokes on all the other shows and stuff about, hey, where do you see third party, in 5 years, asked like 5 years ago right now. And I just find it's an interesting time because number one, even if we collect or not, I think all 6 of us could probably agree that maybe not, but I think it's fair to say that the current main line of like Transformers is probably one of the best ones that's been out in a long time, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right? I'd say
Agreed.
Yes.
So here we are with like the mainline Transformers being pretty interesting. A lot of people are collecting those and seemingly enjoying them more than like the third party or even the MP scale. But specifically, how do you guys feel seeing that X-Transbots seems to be one of the like big 2 companies left in the third party game for MP scale?
I say get it.
Right?
Get it.
Like I was only like when I picked the top 3 was always Fans Toys for me, Make Toys, and I would always like the third one was always like X-Transbot. Like I thought they were always a contender to the point of what they were putting out because they still were putting out MP scale figures, regardless of the quality or whatever and whatever they were, people were talking about them and stuff like that. But I always felt that they was always putting something out and being in the market regardless, but those were always my top, like those was the 3 back, when we start, like, when we even started this podcast, like I was always thought it was like, Fans Toys make toys and X Transpots. Like you can throw Keith. Keith is X Transpot as we.
Well, I was going to say, for the sake of argument, I think can we all agree that KFC and X Transbots,
all the
you
same shit.
think of them as like one and the same?
Yeah.
So
But-
I feel like those were always the top three for me.
So you're not that surprised to see their onslaught of
No,
renders?
no. I'm more surprised that like Make Toys didn't go off the fucking. They obviously they're going to be doing the cassettes and stuff like that, but they really haven't. As with what they've done or what they brought and how great they were, I see them like I'm more surprised at how much they fell off the map in regards to.
I don't think Make Toys was doing the cassettes, right? That's MMC.
Oh,
That's MMC.
No, I'm sorry, MMC. I'm sorry, but like Make Toys was doing the jazz. Obviously they had the jazz, and stuff like that. So I thought that they would crouch more into that G1 and masterpiece market, but they never stepped into it. They would always take a little bite and jump in, and never really made an effort to do what
Well, they haven't done anything, right? They did the Green Jet and the release of Starscream, and their cone head seemed to be pretty, hit or miss if that's ever going to come to fruition at this point, right?
I think making any of the Seekers these days and age is not even worth it anymore.
But like, there's been a crazy amount. I know they're renders, right? But between so there's the. Look, I'll just share. I think it's fascinating that XTV is like one of the companies that is putting out like not just. See, I agree with Eric on that. Like, if you had told me like 2 years ago at Reston, right, for the TFCon that we went to there, that would be one of the companies we'd still be talking about, 2 years from now, and then putting out characters that had either only been offered once before, such as like their Perceptor, right? All he had was the first Fans Toys one to go off of, or just such a wide variety with both combiners and unique, like the Omnibots, right?
Yep.
A zillion repaints of everything, of course. We get how that game works, so I'm not quite so worried about that. But it's I don't know. I find it shocking, to see, and yet we still know that the reputation. Like, how do you guys think of them as a reputation? I guess is a better question.
And I was gonna say, Gary, like it's surprising that they are one of the last ones because of like how shoddy the reputation was in the beginning. Like, what I'm saying, like their stuff always looked pretty decent, as we always kind of talked about, but the quality was never kind of like up to par compared to the other companies. And Dom like put them like last on his list, but they were still on the list. And to me, I'm like, man, if they're gonna make like a shoddy quality product, like I'm not like gonna even buy their stuff. But they started improving, and now it seems like everybody's happy with the stuff they put out.
But see, that's the thing, right? I don't know if that's the case. Now, look, I haven't handled a lot of these firsthand in the last like year and a half, but like looking at their Menasor, I heard nobody say anything positive about putting that Menasor together, right? Then I watched the figure banging with the Streetwise, right? Their version of Streetwise, and watching that transformation, those quirky arms, right? And look, I love that. I wanted to get that for the alt mode, like Brian, like with you, like cars and robots, and the fact that that's a 84 300ZX, it's a fire chief car.
Yep.
And looking at that transformation, I had to leave it alone, right? And then their cup, right, which you can talk about, like their cup, the factory, and they're going to make it right with a new release, which looks really good. I think aesthetically, like their product looks great. It just blows my mind that they are a company that's still making the MP stuff, and like you said, it was like people excited for it, but there's still a lot of that reputation, I think, that still exists in terms of the quality of what to expect for the fit and finish versus just the aesthetics of it.
Okay.
Well, I'll say this. I'm looking at my shelves now, and the stuff that they have made already is still standing the test of time for me. You know what I mean? Like, I have stuff there that nobody else has attempted to make. Who's done a Wreck-Gar besides them, right? Who made that? They made that, right?
It's on a Blaster.
KFC.
Blaster still looks great.
Blaster.
I know Fans Toys is making Power Glide now, but my Power Glide's dope. Like,
Well, that's
he looks great.
DX9.
That's
Yeah, it's the
that's
X9.
X9.
Oh, all right, that's different. All right, my bad. That's
I
different.
actually
man.
have it right here because I was comparing it to the photos yesterday. Yeah.
But I mean, like, the few ones that I have up there, they're not the shoddy ones. I guess you just have to pick and choose, do your homework before you purchase something. I mean, what is it they're doing now? That cup has anybody handled that here? Does anybody
I
have it?
not. No.
Yeah, neither one.
Were the
It
issues with that quality issues like too, or was it just like just the transformation isn't fun? or
No, it
something
was
like that,
it
you
was
know?
true quality. There was remember we talked a little bit, that they said it was a different factory that they used, and then essentially tried to do like a recall on them, and then
Okay.
supposedly replace them.
Okay.
But
So,
aesthetically, looks good. looks
Like
really good.
I'll give them this from the beginning, because I went on Apollyon, and they were doing the Swarm and Cyclonus and all that stuff, the sweeps, I meant. But like from the beginning, their customer service was actually like really, really good. So there, people had problems or whatever, they either contacted them through Facebook. I think that's how they handled everything, though. They had somebody on Facebook, and
Mhm.
they handled everything through there. So like anybody that had any problems, they made sure to, oh, okay, we'll get you parts.
Yeah, I don't think Keith. I don't think I've ever heard any customer service issues.
No.
People just complain about the product, but he does
Yeah.
like help you out with parts and all that other
Mhm.
stuff. as
And I
well,
mean,
so I've heard.
even after the fact, like Apollyon came with
The shoulder
pieces,
fixes,
yeah,
and
the
stuff
shoulder
like that.
fixes
Yeah,
and all
I
that.
remember
What I
that,
mean?
yeah.
They packed it in there. When that Blitzwing came out, you know what I mean? They had problems with the knees, and then the second run of those came with the replacements. So
Mm.
Well, I tell you, I think one of the things that helps keeps them relevant.
Relevant.
There you go.
Yeah. The is he's kind of followed suit in contributing to what the mothership is doing in Takara, changing that design, keeping that kind of toon aesthetic. In fact, Keith is probably more doing the toon aesthetic before some of the other people kind of followed jumping ship in that with like fans toys, right? And even make toys before they put out their seekers. And I think that's a good thing because you want to be able to complement the line that you're trying to build, right? You're trying to build that shelf. And so he's giving you things that will fill that out, especially from a masterpiece side. And then, to me also, I mean, this waiting game, right? He's putting out characters now that have already been done, but the engineering has changed, designs have
Right.
changed, these things are getting more advanced, and they're getting cleaner to look at and all kinds of stuff. So, looking at some of these companies like Fans Toys, I think they're just going to make whatever they make, right?
Mhm.
And depending on what the competition's doing, they might move certain things up in the pipeline, right? They're bullies, right? That's what they're told. But I think Keith is also in the same boat. He's like, look, I'm just gonna make what I want to make. Like, this stuff's not killing me. This is his side hustle, right? It's like now they're releasing those Infernos and Grapples. Remember that?
Right.
Like he
Yeah.
teased the design during those wars. God,
Yeah.
how long ago was that?
It's
And he
3.5
didn't scrap
years
it.
ago. Yeah.
He didn't scrap it. He's like, oh look, guess what? All that shit's out of stock now. Now I'll put mine out. It's like
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of smart.
Mm.
So, Dave, let me ask you a question because you probably are the one who has you and JD most likely. Well, Brian, actually, no, I take that back. Okay. So, those of you guys who have your NPs out on display,
They're behind the curtain.
do you have a 86 movie shelf? Any of you
Yes.
guys? Okay.
I do.
So, who makes up that shelf right now? What brands most likely?
I have the majority is Fans Toys.
Right. That's what I
Right.
figured,
With,
right?
with I think 2 Takara offerings and
Who-
Keith's Rekgar.
Who's your
Who's in
Takara?
Takara?
Magnus,
Magnus, right? Okay.
and Rodimus, MPO9.
Okay.
Oh, okay. You have the MP09 up there.
And
All right.
because I gotta have a Prime in every shelf, MP44 is there, but we don't have to count that as 86
Okay.
movie if you don't want to.
What about you, Dave?
Same thing as Brian, except I don't have the Rodimus up there. I have the Fans Toys version up.
And I forgot about Ollie, of course. He's on there, riding on Grimlock's back.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. So really, like,
Yep, and same here.
same thing for you, JD, right?
Yep.
So think about this. So look, and I think those are great shelves because it seems to be what people default to, right? Because Fans Toys made the majority of characters. You fill in, if you maybe not movie, but that season shelf, you have to use the KFC blaster to fit if you do something similar. But the way things are going with the releases, you can now do almost an entire X Transbots shelf. If you stop and think about it, if you want a consistent aesthetic, right? Aside from like the Dinobots, you know, if they're doing an Ultra Magnus and they're doing their Springer still, right? You throw those out there. Wreck-Gar's already them. Right? Who else am I missing? Cup they have, right? They're reissue the Cup. So if they ever throw in like their own RC, it's like you pretty much can do a whole XTB shelf for the 86 movie.
Yeah, you're just missing Hot Rod and Blur.
Yeah.
Oh, Blur. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
But if you look at the bad guys, there's only 3, right? Scourge, Galvatron, and Cyclonus, and they are putting out that Cyclonus.
Yep.
And I have that X Transbots Scourge. I got the shiny one, and he looks great with the Fans Toys Galvatron and the Fans Toys Cyclonus. Fans Toys tease the Scourge, and it's like, you know, I really don't need to upgrade, but I was like, I might as well complete the Fans Toys shelf at this point. You know? But I don't know. I'm gonna have to. Fans Toys, when they've been putting out 2 versions of those, so now I'm like, I don't know which one. Like, what's that second one gonna be, right? What if the first one doesn't do it for me? Who knows?
And you got to see like how it really looks, right? Because I mean, I think that's been a boon to XTB, Gary. Also, is that in my opinion, I feel like besides Fans Toys, they're the closest to do what Takara is doing with their MP line. Like as Brian kind of like alluded to earlier, like their stuff just looks like MP. Like despite the quality of the figures, it almost could pass like if it's a Takara offering, you know.
Well, even within those aesthetics of like the design. How many repaints have they done for their stuff, right? So they do like for their Stunticons, right? You got G1, then they did G2, right? And then they did like the toy homage versions for those.
Mm-hmm.
So you can pick and choose these Omnibots. They're doing all these crazy. I think they look cool as heck. I don't know what they're based on, if anything.
So
but all those racing versions of those Omnibots with the racing stripes and stuff on those import, JDM style cars, man, I think that looks freaking awesome.
It did look pretty cool.
They do. And Gary, if you're interested, I think they're limited. I think BBTS is sold out of them all already.
Oh God,
so
really? Yeah,
if you really want them, start fishing. Yeah.
But I just, it really just kind of got me thinking. Like they joked about them repainting all those stuff in those crazy colors, for, like the cliff jumpers and their mini bots and stuff. But I think back to like all their mini bots, the first gens of all those seemed like they were plagued with QC, right? Just like falling apart, like out of the box.
I hear Cosmos was good.
Their wind charger, the wind charger, the first round, the Beachcomber.
The Beachcomber I heard was it was pretty trashy.
Pins just falling out and stuff. Like,
I think people were really forgiving just because this is the only way to get
only
those
choice,
characters,
right? Yeah,
like the only way to get those guys on your shelf, So a lot of forgivement done like back in those days, So but that stuff is not like that. Hopefully, at least, because I haven't, picked up any of their stuff since the first Thundercon that they put out for like $40, which I felt like that's where they started kind of like turning their name around.
What's interesting?
They still hold my hoist. The hoist and Jailbreaker are still what I.
Yeah,
use
me
for
too.
them. So
I still do that.
I think those two alone are very desirable from them, and people look at, because I know when those wars came out, everyone was all up on. What was it? Make Toys, or was it MMC?
Bad Cube, I know did
Bad Cube, MMC.
Yeah.
I in my eyes, I was like eventually thought that the X Transbot won that war.
Yeah, I thought they were really good.
They looked the best to me. Yeah.
And then he put out those Tuden versions, which look really nice too.
Really nice, too.
the only ones.
Trey Parker had some like paint issues. Like I think the lines didn't match up, or like there was some issues with
Could
the
have
paint
used an
on
extra
Trailbreaker.
coat on the tampos
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, Brian, you're not kidding. They are all sold out. So there's literally 4 pages right now in BBTS of X Transbot stuff that's
just
either in stock or
XTB.
pre-order.
Just
Right.
repaints. Yep.
4 pages, and all those like cool racer versions are technically sold out right now.
Yeah, I think they're a limited run, and that's why I think they're $20 more expensive, especially ones for all those paint apps, which kind of makes sense. So many
Right.
paint apps. Yeah. But
Interesting.
so
That's
so
crazy.
check your
See.
other retailers if you really want to get some.
Start digging.
But, right?
Start digging.
But see, even that, right? There's a company that's selling out, right? What other company have we ever, other than Fans Toys, has it happened to that degree? And these are all just renders. They're just renders repainted
Yeah.
2 and 3 times so far with like
Yeah.
nothing in hand.
Pre-order's free, so
Yeah, that's true.
maybe.
Okay, that's
Do you
true
think-
too.
yeah,
That's fair.
FOMO, people just jumping in on it. But like, do you think that could be a sign that people are like getting excited for this stuff? Like, I feel like there's a lot of excitement for those train bots too, because now you got that third party company coming out, and then Sakara announced like their own. You know what I'm saying? So obviously they're doing that. And it seems like people were like looking for that at the show, hoping that they were on sale, like at TFCon. The acoustic wave also, like I don't know if that was like a thing, like a rumor, but people, like I heard a lot of people talking, like hoping that would be available at the show as well.
I was,
you know,
I was eternally hopeful that would be one of those. Hey, that's the big item at the show. That's on all the tables. Who got their acoustic wave this weekend? Everybody raise their hand. I got mine. I got mine. Yeah. But unfortunately, no big hitters at the show for a drop like that. Unfortunately,
no.
That's
But
not a
they're
question
close.
though.
They're starting to ship like next week, so it's like they're close. They're so close. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those damn docks in California holding everything up.
Hey,
Now
you see-
I'm leery to order anything from overseas just in case it gets held up like that. Now.
Florida opened up shipping lanes, so don't worry.
Yeah, so I mean, hopefully that's a sign, man. People are getting excited over this stuff. Like, people are like, "What's next? What's next?" Like some people, like I hear a lot, like within our circles, just saying like, "I want to just be done with the masterpiece already." And it's like, how much more are you really gonna get, like realistically? Like, because it seems like they just keep going back to the Optimus and Bumblebee well and stuff.
Yeah,
like
well,
that,
I mean, Takara for sure, but we have met people in this past year or two that are just doing MP now. And I mean, think about the people that we know that got out of it and made a killing. Like, there's these new people, man. They're the ones getting killed with these prices, so it's kind of nice. They're like, oh well, maybe I'll see what one. It's a new Inferno and Grapple, right? It's like these aren't old molds that are being re-released. These are like brand new things. So
These are like
maybe
brand new figures.
but these are old designs, but we'll see, kind of thing. So at least it gives them something to get excited for. It's like, oh, I get to buy something new as opposed to chasing down some kind of best price type of thing, which is
Well, I think that was one of the things, Brian, to what you said, that I was kind of excited to think about whether I collect them or not for myself anymore. Like, again, you kind of see if you hang around each other, we do the similar setups, right? Whether it's in a DTOF or whatever, Dio or just on your bookcase. Similar styles, the season, right? The ARC crew, seasons 1, 2, the movie team, maybe a movie team and a season 3. It's pretty similar because we're all fans of the same fiction, so it makes sense. But the idea of seeing some displays, I think, that look a little different now, maybe with some different characters, and how does that aesthetic line up? Is kind of that is exciting to me to think about what that could look like for the hobby. So it doesn't just everyone's shelf doesn't look exactly the same. Right? I kind of feel like sometimes you run into that.
like Keith repainted the drag strip. It's like in that dark blue. Like that intrigues me. Like because if I'm collecting a drag strip, he's going to be an arm, and that's it, right? It's like, but now I get like this other car that turns into a robot and some other color. Like I like that kind of stuff, especially just like transforming cars.
Well, yeah. Well, to that point, like I was gonna ask, like those cars that are coming out from X Transbots, were those based on like other releases that they put out? Because some of them like look
It's
brand new to me.
Diaclone
And
stuff.
okay,
Yeah.
All right, and I didn't really like recognize like the characters or anything like that. So I was just like, to me, I was like, man, if they're doing original bots like in that kind of old school like aesthetic, like it looked cool. It looked cool to me
Is
just because
there-
it was
maybe
something different.
The chat was there really Diaclone of the Omnibots that were
Well,
like only mail away in the 80s for G1?
They were mail away. I'm sure they were based on Diaclone something in the early days, but from what I learned, what I learned, there's 2 repaints of each character, and the one that's like a solid color that doesn't have all the racing stuff on it,
Right.
that is like an homage to like some prototype designs of those that I saw. But the racing stripe ones, they could be Diaclone, perhaps.
You've got a diamond version is like the
Yeah.
solid color, right? And you got
Yeah.
the racers. But I swear to God, like someone correct me in the chat if I'm off base. I don't feel like I've ever seen, because those 3 cars, it's an RX-7, it's a Toyota Celica Supra that they use, and it's a Ferrari. Those are the 3 real life cars. And I don't feel like I've ever seen those models as Diaclone. Now I feel like I have to search.
Unreleased, Eric says. Unreleased Diaclone. There you go.
Interesting.
And then Ricky got a point. You know, those of us that have missed out are just starting out. We walked into a drought and we want the floodgates open. Yeah, because I mean, if you try to look for a lot of old releases, you just gotta hope for somebody selling it. You're not gonna find a lot of that stuff available, and then
Come September 2022, man, all this shit's dropping. This could be a floodgate. Sure.
and then then you got those like like he says, like often a sucker for a cool repaint, like which initially I'd be like, why, but like I understand the appeal of that too.
I tell you what's cool, those racing ones are not based on anything. If you take a magnifying glass, so they got logos galore, the Dunlop tires, the shell, and the stripes. So someone designed that like for Keith. It's like, let's make a cool looking race car. Maybe they made homaged some other race car like out on the GT circuit or something. But
well, just like Wheeljack and Smokescreen.
Yeah, those designs
real
are
race
great.
cars.
Yeah, man.
Now the FOMO. See, it's got
these race cars would look great with the. Who did the Wheeljack? They did the Marlboro Wheeljack. Marlboro cigarette Wheeljack. Like
Yeah, it's card.
Oh
Card in that.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
The
Pretty
exhaust.
cool.
Exhaust. Yeah.
Are you guys usually in for stuff like this when it drops? Like
Oh, yeah.
just the MP guys, just in general, like so Brian, Dom,
I would be
Dave.
Jose, but
I would.
I don't have room. Like now that I've got stuff on shelf, I know I don't have room for it.
Yeah,
It's
you gotta
like-
be pick and choose.
I used to be. I used to get all the repaints. So I have like the exhaust, and I have the other one that they did, the all black one with the purple. I forget what that one is.
I think I know.
Oh,
which
track-
the lead,
the track
lead,
repaint.
lead,
Yeah,
foot,
the track. Yeah, that one. I have that.
I got one of those in my for sale tote.
Dude, these are crazy good looking though.
But,
the car modes.
Yeah, I actually do have a shelf. I got the Outback. I mean, not necessarily repaint, like Outback pipes and the silver Blue Streak and Tiger Tracks and the G2 side swipe. What else is in there? I'll be putting that silver skids in there, type thing.
Yeah.
But and I have the Diaclone Citizen stack in there as well.
I have that too, Ryan. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So you got that
I
shelf. where you
obviously
just
have the MP one. I have the MP version of.
Oh yeah.
Citizen
Yeah.
Stack.
Yeah.
That was
like
one of
those
my-
early ones, right? Those
It
were
was.
one of those early ones back.
I
then,
think
right?
that was my third party figure. I think I had the original Citizen Stack before Scoria came out, after Quake Wave, when there was no
Wow.
MP Magnus out there at all. So
So the interesting thing about Citizen Stack is MP Magnus and Citizen Stack kind of both went up around the same time.
Yeah.
We didn't have pictures of MP Magnus, but I remember distinctly on BBTS the initial price for that Magnus was like really high, and I was there like, whoa, like I think it was like over $200. Like I want to say it's something outlandish, but at the same time, Keith is putting out Citizen Stack for well under that price, and I'm like, is the price difference really that much? Like, well, how could the price difference be that much? And that's at the same time where Keith's not in my good graces because I bought that pipes and the hopper
Right,
from him.
see?
They're
There you
garbage.
go.
The tapes, they're awful. And I'm sitting here like, but that Takara thing was so expensive. And then eventually, BBTS corrected the listing when Takara actually put out what the actual price was going to be, and it was much lower. But yeah, that Citizen Stack, I sold that, but then I ended up buying the repaint on the cheap just because, I like repaints of trucks and stuff. So, but Gary, that was one of your earliest MPs.
It was like I think I had that before Scoria because I had gotten the first Quake Wave when it first came out, and it's actually funny because so have you ever set like a profile picture for something, you never really think about it for a long time. It's I have a Citizen Stack out on like my front step when I was trying to mess around with some photography, which is not very good, by the way, but just kind of messed around a little bit, and it's actually my eBay picture. it's a KFC Citizen Stack of our front stoop of the house in Massachusetts when we were there before I was new to you guys and was in the ROC and just kind of on my own collecting stuff. So
I remember getting that thing in hand. I was like, wow. So now I know what the price difference feels like. Is that thing that the plastic's all bendy and squishy, and I remember having.
Right.
It had these like extra hinges in there just because I was like, oh, Keith, you couldn't figure out how to actually do this properly, so you got to put these extra flaps in the middle. And I tell you, the thing that I was such a Keith hater back then. How long ago? It was like 5 years ago. It's like, remember the SXX replacement heads and faces came for. So SSX is a different company than KFC, right? But it turns out they're the same. How are the heads showing up under another company listing, coming out at the same exact time that the Ultra Magnus is coming out for KFC? And I'm like, wait a minute, there's some shenanigans going. I was like, why are you charging an extra? Just put the extra shit in the KFC box. Why is there another company with a different name? And then when you get the SSX box, it's got like a KFC sticker to seal the flap. Yeah, man.
That was like one of the gateway to understand this craziness, right? Starting to figure out
Citizen Stack and SSX heads. I was as frustrated then as people were spending that extra money to get a trailer to build their Menasor last year. That's how mad I was back then. Oh man, God, how I've matured and just go with the punches now and just don't let that shit bother me.
Let's go with the flow.
Buying some wing fillers and shit.
Oh yeah, wing fillers.
Well, that's cool. I appreciate you guys sharing your opinions on that. It was just kind of, like I said, something to think about. If you had told me even 2 years ago that that's where we'd be at, I think we were crazy. That would never happen. So
yeah, like who would have guessed it? But again, the way Dom said it, he was like, man, it was Fans Toys, Make Toys, and XTB. So they're hanging in there for the long game. I thought it was another interesting point, especially because you brought up a product like I totally forgot about, like when you were talking about Fans Toys and like, are they really this company? What's it called? Whoever's putting out this acoustic wave.
Robot Paradise.
Robot Paradise.
Yeah, the Robot Paradise.
So then you brought up like the cesium that they put out under that like Perfect Fusion line, I think it was called, or something like that, and maybe the quality like wasn't as good as what you would expect from Fans Toys. So like that's an interesting question, right? Like, is this acoustic wave gonna disappoint?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody's.
I mean, do we really think is it Fans Toys for sure?
Oh yeah.
Will we ever know? How can we be so sure?
I'll know next week.
Okay.
The price says Fans Toys, Gary. Does that mean?
Yeah, that's true. Right. That's possible.
But I mean, we saw the first time we saw Soundwave, it was under the Fans Toys banner. Mm-hmm. I think we did it on this show. Yeah. I remember Dave gave me homework to do, and I pulled all those slides. And remember, I had the Fans Toys go, let's go back in time. And then, yeah, that was fun. But yeah, so I think it was under the Fans Toys banner, and I can't remember.
Do you think they put it in a different banner because there's certain characters that official like holds close to their chest? So it's like with all the characters that they put out so far, Fans Toys was always, like you said, Brian, it was like a a substitute to the main line to say, hey, you know,
A contributor. Yeah.
yeah, contributor to the main line. But this, you know, do you think they put it in a different banner? Because if they did come after, if the you know, Car and Hasbro came after, they would just come after this figure because it is a Soundwave. You know, they've done Soundwaves.
Yeah,
before.
but how long ago was that even released? Like that's like the third or fourth reissue of Soundwave MP,
It's
like
funny
two
because
or
there's
3
certain-
years ago.
There's certain characters
13,
that
right? 13.
that Hasbro and Dakar feel very closely about, and if you fucking do them,
Yeah.
they're gonna you know.
See, but like I don't know. Like I feel like with that kind of like, wouldn't they go after them for anybody they make? Like they're fucking stealing all of it.
That's what I was gonna say. It was like I think you're thinking because of the fucking Unicron war.
Unicron,
You
yeah.
know
Which-
what I mean?
which-
Because it like whatever the studio cell was coming out at the same time they were doing the funding for their own Unicron.
Yeah.
You know,
That was
Yeah,
stupid.
yeah.
It's so stupid of Zeta to do that.
yeah.
But that's
They're
the thing,
petty.
like,
They're so
yeah.
petty.
But at the same
Petty.
time, I will say, like, if you know, if Takara or Hasbro were to go after them, they're not losing their asses. So that could be a reason
or
why
not
it's
hurt their
done.
fans toys name, like, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
not hurt what they built with fans toys. So like, you know,
Yep.
let's do Soundwave, but like obviously it's been a touchy subject for them.
Mhm.
It hasn't been released for so long when they showed it so early in their processing stages. So I just feel like they might have put it under this banner just in case if they do come after them. You know, great. You know, that's not us. This is more
Or-
fans toys.
Yeah, yeah.
And-
Or maybe there's a rumor in their circles that there's a Soundwave, there is a Takara Soundwave coming
Exactly,
soon. Who
yeah.
knows? I mean, because what fans toys, like we said, they contribute but don't compete, right? So they put out that Shockwave first, then eventually Hasbro came out with theirs, and then but they waited for that Hot Rod, right? They didn't
Yeah.
put their Hot Rod out, and Grimlock was well after the main line.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Grimlock was like the
Grinder
last-
was the last one.
Yeah, he was the last one of the
Yeah,
group.
they did the last. Yeah, and they actually put booties on for your Takara Grimlock. Wasn't that so nice? of them
Yeah,
for that?
yeah, that's right.
The thing is that if you follow the official with what they're reissuing or remaking, Soundwave is up on the table. Like, you know, because they did
Yeah.
Starscream,
Yeah.
Optimus,
The
Megatron,
iconic
so-
six. To see the iconic six. I can't remember what Bobby's list is.
Yep.
Yeah, that does make sense. It's kind of plausible, like, you know, but it's just like I feel like, I mean, if they were gonna just go after them, they would go after them. But I do understand, like, Optimus Prime might be like, yeah, you're fucking pushing it now. A Soundwave, a Starscream, you know. But it's like, look, they like X Transbots to the Megatron, you know, like.
Yeah,
You know, and they put out an MP not too long after, you know, so it's just, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's all a crapshoot. You just
Yeah,
never
I mean,
know.
it seems as if, I mean, they like you said, Brian, they certainly put a Fans Toys price tag on that, you know, on that figure for sure, banking on people for doing that. So I don't know. I just
But
remember,
Garrett-
like, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I know what you're getting at, right? The Cesium was not your father's Fans Toys Dinobot, right? It was
That's
different.
correct, right?
It was different.
Yeah, it's aesthetically
Well,
looked
they said
good, but handling it was like definitely different, right?
But
And
they said
the
it-
price
they
reflected
said-
it.
But they said that they were going to take certain things out of that cesium
Yep.
line. Like, that cesium line was not going to be die cast. It was, you know, it
Right.
was going to be as bulky as the
It
original
was.
were. Like, you
It
know?
was
But
more.
remember-
You know, it was their economy.
Yeah.
You know.
And
But
they're gonna make it
Cyclonus was supposed to be under that same banner, and it ended up coming out to regular Fans Toys,
Probably
Oh, you're
because
right.
they.
That's right.
right?
Well, it's probably because the way it was engineered and the way it needed to transform was like, this thing's gonna break if we do this in our in the economy line.
No.
You know, so it probably had to have the metal. You know,
Did they even
I
put
would
anything else out in that Perfect Fusion?
No, it never
was
did.
Cesium.
It was
Cesium
just,
was the only
it's
one.
just the one and done. And like I said, the
Yeah.
Cyclonus was supposed to be under that one, and I mean,
not even saying cesium was like a loss. Like, people bought that figure.
oh, it did. It sold out. I'm just,
Swapped.
yeah,
It
I'm
was
kind
Yeah,
of
swapped.
unsuccessful.
I'm
So,
kind of upset that I missed it, but
Mm.
but it's like, you know, I wasn't imagining them doing all the Dinobots under that, you know, redoing the Dinobots under that economy, like Perfect Fusion line, but they didn't.
Yeah.
So
And Brian saying like this acoustic wave release is imminent, like now, like next week or
oh yeah, they
supposedly.
already charging.
Like
They're charging.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I've had to pay for one of mine already. So, and I've seen notes from other retailers that stuff's gonna start shipping out.
3 days.
Interesting. Interesting.
Then I'm waiting
Nice.
for the.
That'll be curious. Have you guys watched? I've only seen one YouTube video that was actually pretty well done transformation video, but it's not it's not dubbed with any like American voiceover or anything or recorded.
That music was horrible.
Yeah, it was an interesting choice of songs, but like looking at it, it doesn't look as I mean, look, it's one video. What do I know about it from this point, right?
Also, is this what prompt your prompt the topic? This video? Does it look not good in the video?
No, to me, it doesn't look like the painted fans toys,
Really?
right? Figures that we're used to seeing. But like I said, it's one video. It's one. I don't want to plug somebody else's thing.
Brian's gonna go hunting for that video now. He's like,
No, I mean,
I'm curious.
No, I think it's a valid question to ask though, but I think like,
Yeah, because I got pre-orders that cancel. Are you kidding me? What are you talking about? We gotta know. Wait, is it the Toy Thieves? What channel is it on?
I honestly don't remember which one it was under. Looking, see if I can.
just put it just Robot Paradise acoustic wave into your YouTube. It'll probably pop up, or check Dime Shop. There you go. But the price point being what it is, I guess that would reflect whether the quality is there or not. I mean, if it's over 200, well then there you go. You would expect that normal Fans Toys quality from a price point like that. But I feel like, man, look,
is it 340? What is it? What's the cost?
that much for real? Over 300?
Nah, it's 250 plus tapes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, is that
Tapes,
'cause of the
tapes are
tapes?
one something.
Yeah, there you go. With the tapes,
But the tapes haven't dropped yet. The tapes haven't dropped yet.
Also, the figures 250 something, and the
you got
tapes
like
are over $100.
Yeah, $120.
Wow. Okay.
Flashbacks.
Yes. Enjoy, boys. I hope you guys enjoy your purchase. No, but everybody's looking forward to that. So, like, just brace yourselves. I can see the meme coming already. Brace yourselves because the pics are gonna come. No, but that's cool, man. But that's valid because again, putting it out under another company, you know what I'm saying? Like, would make you think, is it like gonna be another cesium type like release? So hopefully not. Hopefully it's a quality purchase, and we'll see what else they put out. Any other announcements under that line, or is that the only one?
That's it.
Just that's it so far. So, all right.
Gary, I think it's okay. I think it's.
Think so? Okay, I was trying to find this thing. It's like I said, just watch it once, just because I was curious, and I don't know. At the end of the day, it's all fun to think about, right? A little bit. It's just
This video is
have
only
something
360.
to-
It's only 360p. It's like it's no good.
Oh,
No, just
yeah,
kidding.
there you go. When it's not HD, yeah, when it's not HD, you can't make that judgment. I need a 1080
I think it's
at
all right.
least.
I think it's all right. I'd love to hear the creaking and cracking of the plastic, but you wouldn't be able to with all that damn music on there. But yeah.
It's still tough though, right? Those new cassettes, like they look better. And I know they're not necessarily completely to scale, but looking at the MMC, steel jaw again, it was kind of exciting to see how those look being bigger,
man.
right?
Yeah.
Next to them. That was
Dude,
That
that was one I wish I would have had for sale at TFCon for sure.
Yeah.
I know they put blaster off in KFC, but talk about X-Transbox KFC. Like that blaster has been that's the blaster that you were gonna get for your MP scale, and it's been.
Which one do you have?
I have the unmetallic. I had the metallic, but then I got rid of the metallic and went with the unmetallic version.
All right.
Unmetallic.
Yeah. So
I'm pretty sure I have the metallic, the first one.
Yeah, they called it.
Yeah, I have the metallic too, JD.
The non-metallic.
The candy coated version.
They did
Yeah.
metallic, then they did like an oranger
Flaky
tone
Johnson.
one.
They did the blue one for.
They did
the-
Twin
blue,
Cast,
yeah.
right?
Twin
Yeah.
Cast, yeah. So
Then they did like even like an orangish tint
Other
that was
than-
out for a while.
other than what Fans Toys has shown, nobody else is doing a blaster. Like what I'm saying, like we're going to get another blaster coming out, You know, I think
You'll get one. You'll get one right after this fucking Fans Toys one. Then Hasbro's gonna do one. Yeah, you'll see.
Well, that's the thing, man. Like, it really is. It's Keith and it's Fans Toys and it's Takara now because everybody's going to that particular
But dude,
aesthetic.
It's not
Like-
even Takara though. Honestly,
Yeah, like I was gonna say, like
they're not doing anything new.
no.
just reissuing their old
They
ones.
got
Yeah.
you a new Starscream.
We got
They
this
did
train
Skids.
bot.
They
The
did
train
the
bot
Skids.
is
They
the
did the
first new
Skids.
one,
They did
but
the
that's
Skids, too.
yeah. The skids and the train, this train bot I would say is new, but it's a It's a Japanese exclusive character. Like it's not really known to like the U.S. unless you're hardcore
But like
like
the
that.
Skids, it's another question. If you're gonna put yourself up there, are you gonna spend another 200? What is it? What's the official Skids going for?
The Skids is under 100.
Yeah,
100?
it's just cheap,
Yeah,
Is
it's
it?
like 90.
relatively.
That's what the official is going for, 90.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
cheaper
wow.
than Keith actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So
But I don't know. But I mean, MMC with the
Skids.
Perfection series, they were going Ocular Max,
Right,
Ocular,
yeah.
no, Studio Ox. They're going
Studio
Studio
Ox, yeah.
Ox style, but that style's out. People want
Right.
Toon, and Make Toys.
And the
God,
scale,
man.
right, for some of that stuff. For
Well,
Ocular
their
Max, a
combiners
little
is
bit,
smaller
right.
than
True,
what's
right, yeah.
expected, but they're
Mhm.
like their Trailbreaker and their
I guess that's
Cliff
true.
Jump,
yeah,
Cliff
true.
Jumper were all proper scale. And like who else was there? Baku fell off the map, and
I'd be full off the back, but-
and
They fell off the map, but yet they
Or-
just did a bunch of reissues as well, right? I mean, they
Bunch.
got the insects all came out, and like all their cars, aren't they all coming out? Their mini bots, their gears, right? That got super expensive.
yeah.
Isn't that out for
And
pre-order again?
Brawn.
Is this thing?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
are they really going anywhere? Or somebody's getting the molds for them, right? I don't know.
who knows?
Well, they're not making anything new. That's for sure.
Right.
They were
Sure.
they were trying to go in their own lane and just making shit up, and then they
It just
just
Right.
disappeared.
they
Yeah.
just disappeared.
And then who else was the other player in the DX9 folded?
DX9, yep.
Unique
Yeah,
Toys and
Toys.
Make Toys.
You
Dude,
said
I
back
mean,
you already.
Make
Yeah.
Toys had still never they never made that Brainstorm or the
Yeah.
other Target Masters, right? Because remember they made that Point Blank guy. That was a good
Yep.
toy, man.
Yeah,
After
it's
Figure
a
Banging, I
really
bought
good
that,
toy.
and I don't even care about that character, but that toy is pretty awesome.
That's a lot of fun to flip back and forth too.
Yeah.
That's one of my go-tos. a
So
lot
I
of
still always love the Make Toys mold for their Inferno and their grapple. Like the Make Toys grapple, the wrestle was always probably one of my favorite MP like designs.
He's my grapple.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
really fit that one.
I always thought they made the best looking jazz too, like the downbeat. I always
Me
thought.
too.
Oh yeah, I
they
agree
did.
with you there too. Even with this,
Yeah.
but even the original Hound was like a very old style design. They did the metallic and then like the non-metallic, but that was a pretty good looking figure before everything went all tuned and crazy. The gun,
I like
what was it
how
called?
his-
Gun Dog, right? Gun Dog.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his arms
Yeah.
like accordioned when they transformed. They like compound fractures in your forearm kind of thing. I thought that was kind of neat.
But yeah, just done.
They just Make Toys started going off on the what the hell did they call it?
Well,
Here.
they had those animation
Oh,
designs. I feel to
this
their
type
MD
stuff.
Yeah,
And then I missed that. I want them to bring that back. The
cross
cross
dimensions.
dimensions, man. Like
I guess
yeah,
that
like
wasn't
do more of that.
profitable.
Finish the fucking headmasters and
Yeah.
then
Call it
fall
a
off
day.
the face of the earth.
I know
Jesus.
they've teased that Galvatron that looked fucking super dope for cross dimensions.
Yeah.
I'm like waiting for that, and nothing now nothing. And surprisingly so, because they would seem to be one of the companies out there that had the better reputation as far as like the quality of the stuff they put out. Like all that cross dimension stuff was top notch quality.
Yeah, they don't. I mean, they don't make a shitty
Horrible
product.
They don't.
Like I'll flip those headmasters that they made so far. I'll flip those back and forth. I'm not afraid. The Target Masters, same thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The cross dimension stuff, that's fun. It's
Their
fun.
MP Despertron was always one of
Yes.
my favorite. Like that was my Megatron forever, and I think I've actually owned that figure like at least twice, like in different versions of it.
Yeah.
Just because.
Yeah.
With
Also-
Make Toys, it's like
I can't get rid of mine. I still have mine too.
Yeah, yeah.
What the Megatron?
The Despertron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are fun times trying to make that.
He filled the void that we didn't have before the MP came out. Like,
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
you know, he
I
had more
just
and more
sold
of an
mine.
animated look to him. You know what I mean? Like its facial expressions, and I just remember all the pictures that were out at the time, and it just holds like a certain
Yeah.
Well,
memory
was-
that I can't get rid of them. You know?
That was the battle, right? It was the X-Trans bots. It was the Make Toys,
D-
and it was
DX9.
DX9.
Yeah.
Those are tough choices back then. You know what I
Oh,
did?
it was.
I did Combiner Wars Megatron with upgrade kits. That's what I was like. Screw you guys.
yeah.
I had that. I remember that.
Which one was the DX9 though? Which one? Which Megatron?
The
was that?
X9 was like he was a tune actor.
What was his name?
What was it? And there was a little one and a big one. Remember? You could.
Yes.
Yeah.
Trying to
It was
remember.
Mitron? Mitron was it? Mitron?
Yeah, that sounds
Maybe.
right, Brian.
Yeah.
He was
yes,
hollow.
Yes, I
He
remember.
was like
I
a
remember.
very
I remember.
hollow like shell of a robot.
I remember it had a great face sculpt though. That
It
DX9.
Yes.
definitely, it had the look. It nailed the look, but it just
Yeah.
the quality wasn't there.
Yeah.
But that Make Toys, that Despertron, you know, that's where the two legs, they didn't make this the handle, but they formed the handle long ways. Like
Yeah.
that was great engineering. I was like, I never thought of that. That was pretty cool.
That's the one thing I loved about Make Toys. It's like whether they hit the mark or not, you know you're going to get a good toy. You're going to get a good toy. So
Yeah. Do you think that's where like maybe they've kind of well, I don't know, maybe they've had financial issues, whatever, but do you think that's why they've fallen off? Because maybe they strayed too far from the look of what Fans Toys, Takara, XTB like was doing, where it's like they're not really your go-to company for the MP.
Well, their
we
Seekers
were-
though were in that line though, so
Yeah.
their Seekers fit that aesthetic.
And we were also having that discussion where is it wise for third parties to do like a cross dimension line like Make Toys was doing? Like, was it worth doing branching out and doing these one-off, rare, unique designs and still be able to capture the market with regards to Transformer collectors? And we always
I
felt
mean-
like it was a wise choice to do because how many times are you going to fucking buy a Megatron? How many times are you going to buy a fucking Hoist or a Grapple or unless it looks something different, so
Yeah, but like the other thing to look at is like you can't find those now, can you?
no, yeah, they're sold.
Yeah,
out.
and I mean anybody that I talked to were like, yeah, man, that was a cool line. I wish they still make them because I mean they had the Seekers, like prototypes or the designs for the Seekers, and they had like Dinobot parts on it, or was it the other way around? The Dinobots
you're
had
right.
Seeker
I remember
parts,
that.
or
I think
You
the
know what I mean?
Seekers
It
had
was like-
Dinobot like shields or whatever made out of Dinobots or
Dinobots.
something.
yeah, like I mean, yeah, and then the Galvatron, they teased the Galvatron. Like, come on, people will buy it.
Yeah,
I think there was
Shame.
a. Yeah.
I think it had a lot to do with like the gap fillers with the Seekers, and then crowdfunding the Seeker, the Acid Storm, and and like the quality of those. and-
the QC of that yellow one, right? The solar was one.
yeah, I think that had a lot to do with
After
it.
being a
People started losing faith in them like then. Yeah, because the cross dimension
And then-
stuff was pretty well quality, and I think like again it's original stuff, but I think it was going because like they actually kind of put a storyline behind it too, like with the
And if
booklets
that's the
coming
case,
with the figures.
if that's
you know,
the case,
so.
that teaches like manufacturers that Seeker's the greatest thing like to remake and get your margins and stuff like that, but they can also be the death of you because if it was the death of fucking Make Toys, then so
Well, and I mean, there was also like the headmasters that they like repackaged and sold as knockoffs or whatever, like that whole debacle as well. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people were like, you know what, fuck Make Toys, and everybody's selling Make Toys shit.
Well, when they released those two Starscreams, that was a lot of drama back then too. Remember the
it was like right around the same time.
yeah. It was like they both showed up at that first Reston TFCon, and it was like the Screamer and then the whatever the other I can't remember what it was from.
The Galaxy.
Yeah,
Thank you. That's
Oh, the Howling
Galaxy
Meteor.
Meteor.
Yeah, they both showed up right at that thing.
Yep.
And it was like just a lot of drama around the price for that or something, right? Wasn't that what it was? It was like supposed to be one price, and it was got raised higher, and then it showed up at the con, available for purchase early and stuff like that. So, well, I guess we'll never know. It's interesting to think about, though.
It'd be interesting. Yeah. It'd be like
It's been far more interesting to think about after these last few weeks, I think, than I've given NP, Transformers any much thought. I think in the last 2 years, to be honest with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
We're completely
there we go.
in regards to because we're at the end of the. I would say we've been in the game for so long with MP, but with the newcomers coming up, it's like with new people getting into the MP line, this is like they're looking for stuff like this. They're looking for they're like they unfortunately they when they hear us talk, it's like when you're talking about the heydays of all this, that they would like, oh damn, I wish I could be I wish I could go back in time and be in that type of atmosphere. But
they can. I'll send you a box of my old shit that I don't need for a nice low price.
Yeah, you're first.
Number price.
MP's Soundwave to start, and then what else we got? What else needs to get replaced?
See, but the way Dom said earlier about like that, having that, what is it, the KFC blaster for so long, to me, it's like the MP Soundwave from Takara. Like, do you really need a version after that one? Like, to me, it was almost like those things are so damn good that they almost don't need a replacement.
I don't know if it's a need, Jose, but sometimes I think you just, like anything in life, you've had it for so long, you're like, you might, someone likes their car. It's been a great car. I enjoyed it, or it was a fun car, whatever. But sooner or later, you're like, I just kind of want to get something that's a little bit newer. Feels newer.
I like my dick, but I'm not going to replace my dick either, though. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's my favorite toy overall. I could say.
Yeah, and we've talked in that opposite direction too. Like again, about wanting to be done. So it's almost like okay, like they make something new, and it's that interest and curiosity to check this out. And the changes, like this Magnus that's coming out, this new stack that's coming out. Everybody's like, oh, that shit looks dope, and look how tuned it looks, and whatever. But it's like we already got Ultra Magnus. Do we need Ultra Magnus?
You're thinking.
Yeah, but the Ultra Magnus we have can't do the Iron Man stance.
I know. This thing can pose, baby.
And there's no butt flap.
Like, but Jose, you're thinking of a collector that's like us, has been in it for like
that's
the
been
last
in
10
it.
years.
Yeah.
There's people that have been in it for the last 2 years, and like when they have to go get a Magnus, they have to pay. They have to dip deep into their pockets and pay for the ones that are not available anymore. So I think
or they're buying the KO or something.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like and
it's better anyway.
With those.
Then you get dick cancer.
Probably is these days. Yes, it is.
But
like,
I mean,
that's the thing. Like, I think it's wise for companies, especially you're in the sneaker thing, Dave. Like they reissue same sneakers every 3 years. They'll reissue a Jordan's black cement. They'll do it every 3 to 4 years because they know that there's still a market for that, and they'll give it time where the release that they did in 2006 will have enough market value where people will get their money, and then eventually 5 to 6 years later they'll reissue it again.
Yeah,
and they'll
just do it a little different.
A little different.
No Jordan symbol. It'll be a Nike symbol in the back this time, and
Jordan symbol on the back, or whatever the case may be. Better material, whatever the case is. But that's what I think. These companies are doing. They'll wait the 3-4 years that they've issued out, and then they remake it because there's new entries coming in, and they'll know they're going to buy it. And then for us, who have been in the beginning, like the game from the start, we'll probably just buy it. Like Brian would just buy it just to see how it is, and check it out. It's a new bot. It can do the Iron Man stance. So cool. Let's or like even that Grimlock that Planet X is doing. Why do we need another Grimlock? It looks cool.
Just looks cool.
Buy it. Yeah.
Like to me, that would have been the impulse purchase of the weekend.
Yeah.
But now that it wasn't there, and I don't know, the impulse might be gone now.
Yeah, Brian, I'm with you with that, Brian. Yep.
What, that new Grimlock? See, but that's the it's the IDW version, so of course like that's the difference to me. Is like it's not the same old G1 version that we're used to seeing.
But it's like, dude, you're at a show and it's like I'm at a Transformers show, but I haven't really bought any Transformers. Like that would be the one. I'd be like, dude, I'm gonna buy this, and I'm gonna sit down in the lobby and put it on the table with my beer and mess with that Grimlock. But well, it just did not happen. Instead, I bought a GoBot like this big, and I kept that in my pocket this weekend and played with that. Or last week.
all those vendors that were at the show wish that was the case. I'm sure Chosen Prime would be like, if they had that for sale, they would have been probably selling the whole pallet out that week.
Yeah, just a great impulse buy.
Mm-hmm.
That Magnus, I mean, I'm not a Toon aesthetic guy, but that 86 movie shelf that I have, that's where the Toon stuff goes, and I'm like, huh.
Mm-hmm. I would be interested to see if they had the Commander one, if they had this one battling out the official at the time, which one would see which one would won.
Well, this one looks better than the official.
That's what I'm saying. Like granted, Stack was a totally different look. It was a totally
exactly. It's not a fair comparison.
It wasn't a fair competition. It wasn't like like at the end of the day, if they had this one and the official going at the same time, it would be interesting to see which one would take.
I was so impressed with the official one back in the day, man. When I had gotten that one, that thing was on my table for weeks, and I would just look at it, But I mean, whatever. He's a big robot.
And remember,
just love the way he looked.
At the time, both him and Stack, like, what do we know Ultra Magnus as a kid? It's a white Prime with armor around him, right?
Yep.
I mean, even the City Commander was that stuff, the Fans Project upgrade kit. But like, this was the first time. Holy shit! It transforms and it's not a white Prime with armor. Like, how's that work? Yep. How's that work? That was kind of the cool thing about him and Stack at the time. Yeah.
And it was the first one to give us little minifigures, wasn't it? The first MP that came with like.
Oh,
humans.
Daniel and Spike.
Yeah.
Little Spike or Daniel, whatever.
I think that was the first time we got those. Not that people care that much, but still not at first.
Yeah.
Open, damn it, open.
I don't know. I like that one from back in the day. The butt flap. Yes, I know people complained about the shoulders not being that posable or whatever, but I mean, I posed it and I felt like it served its purpose as far as looking like the character. And again, I like the way that old style of MP where it didn't look so toony. It looked almost like a cross between realistic and toon. So
Yeah. I love the name of Citizen Stack too. I thought that was a great name. Like, because Robert Stack was the voice, right? And then, and Citizen as a soldier, right? Citizen, that's a play off of the Bug movie, right?
Oh,
like
Starship Troopers.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. I thought it was really cool.
Or, yeah, sure.
Or the opposite. I can't remember now how that works.
All right, so do you guys want to wrap on that?
No, you had some stuff.
That's cool.
Sure.
What else you got there, Jose?
I mean, there's some other stuff.
The Kingdom
Well, the Kingdom Blaster that they revealed, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we were just talking about the MP Blaster and stuff. If there's another one coming out, but we are getting one in the Kingdom line, and that picture that they showed, I mean, it looked pretty good. Looks like a brand new mold. I thought they were just gonna, repaint the Soundwave one or something like that in the Blaster colors, but
as far as official goes, like I'm done buying the MP. It's all mainline fucking chug
dude.
shit
I'm with you.
It's
what makes me
happy.
happy.
Like 3 years ago, we're like, fuck it, fuck official. Like,
fuck this mainline
That's
shit.
the shit.
Yeah.
It's like,
Now, some of those other reveals that they kind of got, like that new RC, I didn't really like the way that looked. The bulkhead is, hit or miss. Like, it's not my bulkhead, but, whatever, they're doing something
I'm
different.
worried about Legacy with what they showed. I think they're simplifying some stuff.
See, but the drag strip looked good. I thought with the Insecticon that they showed you, I forget which one. The kickback. That he looked pretty decent.
But is Hasbro doing what they do best by giving us, you'll see like certain figures in that Legacy line with like all decked out, like awesome, and then you get like the shitty figures like the RC just to fill them. They think about it as a wave. How much money am I going to put into this wave? Let's put like $20 into this figure, and let's put like $2 into this figure, $2 into this figure, and get
some Marvel Legends way of doing
I was just
things.
gonna say,
it's like
that.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I
And
just
you
feel
know,
like that's what they're doing with Legacy, and I don't know. I'm not into that.
and they're taking a chance too, I think, right? Because it looks like they're within a wave, they're skipping all over like Transformers history. So you got a G2
Correct.
Optimus, you got a Prime RC, I guess a Prime Bulkhead. You know, those characters.
G1 and
You know,
But
so
like you should be as a manufacturer saying, if I'm going to issue another RC, let's try to beat the last RC that we did. Let's
Yeah,
try to
that-
make it better.
the
But,
one
like,
from
you can't-
Transformers Prime
like,
kills this one.
nobody, Yeah, nobody's going to say, "Oh, I'm going to give up my Transformers Prime for this new RC." No way.
Yeah,
No fucking
yeah,
way.
yeah. See, so like you see shit like that, but then the blaster that they showed, I'm like, this shit
Exactly.
looks amazing. It looks amazing, and they haven't really done blaster a lot, right? It's like the G1, they did the
Always
Titans
a return of
Return,
Soundwave, yeah. Always
you
return of
know,
Soundwave.
and now this one.
They
so
had
it's like,
they had a war for Cybertron 1 too.
yeah.
yes,
I still
they
have
did.
that
That
one.
was
I
that
think
was
I
the
have that one
vehicle.
sealed in the box still somewhere.
Yes. So yeah, they did do that there. Like I'm sure there's been other versions, but as far as like this G1 like aesthetic, like we got the Titans Return one, the leader class that was really big, but like this one's gonna fit with your figures now, like a Voyager scale blaster. Like finally, after so long, it's like why do they starve us like with this particular character? You know what I'm saying? It's like we get so many versions of others, and then it's like we barely get like this guy. So I'm excited for that one because it looked great and it looked like they didn't skimp either from the pictures. Like it looks like an original mold, like an updated G1 blaster. It looks like a boombox. So
And if that is one of the last, like as Hasbro does everything like shitty at the end of the waves, because at the last waves of any line, it's they're hard to get. They're not high in supply in regards to what they make out of them. Because so I can see this blaster being a very hard figure to get, since if this is the last wave of Kingdom that's going to be coming out.
yeah, no pre-orders or anything that I've seen. You know what I'm saying? So it looks like it's just gonna be like, there you go. They're gonna release this shit and good luck.
Legacy,
Yeah.
Legacy.
And good luck. So I mean that looked pretty cool. And then I saw somewhere else, I forget if it was one of the websites, Cybertron,
yeah.
TFW, but the shit with the Motor Master, and he's gonna be Commander class. And Dom, we talked about this before about them redoing the combiners with this sort of kind of third party thing with the parts forming and stuff. So if they do Motor Master in Commander class, they said the trailer is gonna make up the skeleton of the combiner, kind of like what we got with the Magic Square and stuff like that. So.
What's Commander class, yo? Did I lead? Is that a new class or something? Or what the fuck?
That's the line that they put the Jetfire in and this Rodimus because it came with the trailer and all the extra bits.
Okay.
It's the figure that's got like the $80 price point, so just above like that leader class, but not Titan class, so somewhere in between leader and Titan.
Yeah, back in the day,
I'm really falling off when I don't know the new classes now, guys.
Back in the day, Commander class was
a small shit. Yeah, Legends.
Yeah.
They were like Legend scale stuff. Yeah, so I mean that's a pretty dope because we saw the drag strip right from this Legacy line, and they didn't like show like any kind of combiner pieces. So the question was, well, is it going to combine? I'm like, it has to. This is a fucking Stunticon.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they have to do that, And now like with the Commander class and hearing that, I'm like, now I'm interested to see what Hasbro could do, like with kind of like with what these third party companies have been doing, like now with the parts forming and just put the cars on the legs and the arms and and let's go, and supposedly I think with some of the listings that leaked, looked like we might be getting some Constructicons too, so it's like Combiner Wars redo, but proper, because again we know with Combiner Wars we got the same 4 molds for fucking every combiner out there
for everything.
I can't wait to get a updated Alpha Bravo, man. I hope they really do some justice. Dude, not for nothing. I'll take an MP Alpha Bravo. I think the character's great. You guys ever watch Vangelis reviews back in the day? He made a video on, what was his name? What did you say his name was?
Alpha Bravo.
Alpha Bravo. Dude, I was like, where's my pre-order? That guy has got me to buy some toys with his crazy videos, man.
Yeah. So
those new combiner characters are going to be interesting because it's like some of them are have become fan favorites in regards to those ones that they introduced, because I think they did one for Defense Sword, right? They did, his name was, I forgot what his name was, but they did a couple new guys. Rook.
Yeah, the Rook. Yeah.
So
filling in some of those characters before they gave it to you later on in the line and stuff, So, and it looks like you got to be careful with these because if anybody is like interested, again, we were just saying like it looks like
Separate waves.
Legacy might be hit or miss, but these are coming out in separate waves, so you got to be in it for the long game, like kind of like what the Studio Series Constructicons. Those things took over a year to come out before you even
and then
combine
they
that
did the
thing.
box. They obviously did a box set. We
Yeah.
all know about the box set, but like
Yep.
I'm sure Hasbro's going to do that eventually. But like like you're right, Jose. If you're going to be in it, you better be picking up these figures because by the fourth wave of Legacy, you might get that last figure. And if you're into it and you see the whole thing combined, you're like, oh shit, I should go pick that up. That drag strip's going to be like $80.
Yeah. So I'm hoping, with the quality, at least with most of the figures that we've seen over the past, couple of years, that they do that combiner justice. And then I think it's interesting that they could probably use that commander class price point to do like more combiners in the future. Like let that be like the silver bolt. Like that might give it the extra pieces for the aerial bots, and commander class could just be the main bot, the body bot, what I'm saying, for all those combiner teams, but again, since it looks like they only put out one a year, it's going to be like a long, the long game, I guess, with that.
It's definitely going to be long, and it's very smart that they did Menasor first, because that was one of the combiner wars that were like less liked. I know people have favorites, but like it wasn't the best.
It was
That was terrible.
If some of those add-on sets did make it a little bit better, but Menasor was definitely one that was lacking.
Shout out to Perfect Effect, man, saving our lives back in 2015. That stuff was coming
saved
out.
it all.
But that's a pretty cool like reveal, and again, we'll probably see more as time goes on. But that's looking forward to that release. I guess maybe next summer. I guess sometime. I guess is the rumor. And I don't know if there was anything else. I had that. That was pretty much it. So, guys, thank you for hanging with us on a Monday. Do want to kind of end with one bit. One of our new members, Ricky, kind of just threw out a story, in the Realm of Collectors Facebook group about. When this dude told me, like, it's just incredible. It's almost unbelievable, like just this story, but. This dude, new member of the realm, kind of finding us through Bobby and being a fan of Bobby and stuff and hanging out with us for TFCon weekend. Basically, like us welcoming him into the group and him being a part of the group now. Saw a post from another member that he saw the last name that looked very familiar and not too common. Reached out to him, and just long story short, you could read it in the group, but he wound up finding a brother that he never even knew that he had. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's fucking crazy.
The motherfucking realm, man. Like, I don't even know what to say to that, but that's just so incredible. The coincidence that had to be, like, just being into the same things, being a part of the same group. We met Brandon. I met him personally, like at one of these New Jersey toy shows earlier in the year. You remember complimenting him on his artwork, that he had there that day, RC piece in particular. And then to meet Ricky for TFCon, and again, like, meeting this dude for the first time, but feeling like I'd known the dude for years. It just kind of fit in like a glove. Like, and then for him to find out, like, just through the group, his brother, like, that's just amazing. You know what I'm saying? And guys, just read the post. He kind of put it out there. Super emotional. I saw a lot of other members commenting too, like, just like about how amazing that is, and that is truly amazing, man. So shout out to you two guys. Very happy.
It's funny. His brother comments on it and says, while we were, this is after we took the group picture. He's like, yeah, we actually chatted for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine talking to somebody not knowing that that's your half brother?
Yeah,
that's wild.
Yeah, that's freaking insane. Look, I'm not trying to be a dick, but you would think that would happen to me or Jose. You know how Puerto Ricans are. You know what I mean? Like, I have 30 half cousins all over the place. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, and you got to watch out who you dance with sometimes, because you're like, oh, you're related to that chick. So to find somebody at a TFCon who likes Transformers, collects toys, is essentially in the same circle and same pocket of friends as you is fucking nuts.
Dude,
when I couldn't believe what I was reading yesterday when you guys posted that, or when we were talking about it, and like just to hear, and then when Ricky posted his story today, I had my wife read it. I was like, read this. I said, this is why I do this shit.
Yep. Yep.
And stuff like this, and not to don't get me wrong, that's incredible. You found a blood relative, but like I say it all the time, man, like I found a lot of my closest friends through this too. So this thing we have here is something different. You know what I mean? Like whether or not it lasts another 5, 6, 7, 10, 15 years, it doesn't matter. I know that when I'm an old man, I'm going to remember these people and remember these times. And
Absolutely.
some of the best times I've ever had, like seriously, like, and like Ricky, you found your brother, Jose said it before. I'm talking to 5 of my bros right now. You know what I mean? Like, it's incredible. It's just nuts.
Realm
Yeah, man,
is
it's like
family.
you can say, whether you find your brother or you make your make brothers out here. This is what we do. Like it's what you do out here. So it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing how seeing them even come together, and both interests. Like they were both apart, and then like just this community of Transformers and collecting toys brought them together, and it's just
insane.
Yeah.
Dude, could you imagine like we'll all be old, like congregating some old VFW, like sitting at the bar drinking for like $1 a beer. We have like our different hats on with our different podcast pins and stuff. Like, do you guys remember the Devastator Wars back when Chug was big? Man, those are rough times, man.
Dom comes out. You mean the Constructo bots? Fucking old ass fucking man comes out the corner with sleeveless shirt on. It's fucking Gary. Who gonna come down to the gym and work out with me now? Gotta get your reps in, even though we 85.
Gary's gonna be like Kenneth. You do push-ups.
Oh man, there goes Brandon right there. Guys, you're welcome. Don't even thank us. I mean, we're just happy to have you guys be a part of this. Anybody that watches, listens, and just a part of the realm, we thank you for being a part of it. I mean, I think it's genuine what you see, the camaraderie that you see here. I think people can feel that, and I think that's why people are drawn to like what we do and those events that we go to, and everybody winds up having a good time, and that's what it's about.
And Brandon wouldn't have even been in the realm if Chuck didn't like change his job, move to another state.
Yeah, look at that. Exactly, man. Just a lot of things had to happen for that to happen. So it's just like, man, this shit's meant to be, man. Shit's meant to be. That's all I gotta say.
Good thing we invited Chuck.
That's right.
Hey Dom, what would you do if you found out you related to Chuck?
Oh fuck! I was like,
he already said that he's your brother, Dave.
It's my brother already.
Chuck's your brother. He's inviting himself to be your brother.
No problem. I'll take him.
All right,
I'll take Chuck. He's mine.
That's right.
No, I'll fight for him. Actually, we can just share him.
Yeah.
There's
There's enough Chuck to go around for everybody.
Yeah, so check that post out in the Realm of Collectors Facebook group, and if you're not a member yet, why not just join, answer the questions, and get yourself
Might
in
find
there.
your lost brother.
Yeah, exactly. And have yourself a lot of fun. So with that, we're going to wrap up for the evening. Let's go around the yard once again and just get some quick where you at. I'll throw out a link in the Facebook group if anybody's going to hang for a little hangout. We'll be here for a little bit. So Brink, I'll start with you, bro.
Hey, at Brink Lazar on Instagram. I don't have any candy, so that's good for me. And I don't know. I had a joke brewing there, and I don't know what it was. Tune in tomorrow for the best part of your Tuesday. That's right. ETR, with all the fancy Transformers news.
Yes. All right, Dominic.
Find me on the Facebook, Dominic Rosto, here Tuesday nights, and thank you guys. It was fun. And we'll be back. I guess back. We'll be doing one. Yeah, we'll be back.
Back soon in our regular time slot next week. Yes. All right, G Money.
Yeah, find me in the Facebook groups. Gary Allen there. I feel like one of us should thank Hanny and one of us should thank Jeremy B, though, right? Since it's Monday still, just because.
Thanks, Hanny.
Just saying. Like,
thanks, Jeremy B.
It's like
they were the girls were teasing me. It was like, or Fenn's like, "Are you gonna dress up as Chan?" And then Chan's like, "I have a red wig." Good, I guess.
It's a little fun. It's also the first Monday in how many months? I haven't heard that Todd overlay.
Oh,
Why is the
So to hear that
floor all
tomorrow.
red, Todd?
Todd, what
Right.
the fuck?
Christmas vacation. So yeah, that's good chatting with you guys tonight, though. It's good.
I'll be your dad, Toy Mafia. I got you, buddy.
Thanks, G. All right. The king of all meatbags.
King of all meatbags out of oblivion that comes back. Well, you can follow me on Pigment Surgery on Instagram, Xbox Live. Been playing a lot of Diablo 3 because fucking love those games. Shelf Gravy. Facebook, Instagram, and Wednesdays, every other Wednesdays we do. But you'll tune in, you'll see me on this channel.
Yeah, we had Figure Banging this week.
This week is
He had a
Figure
ghost in
Banging.
his house now.
I
You hear the
something.
ghost in his house?
Yeah,
I hear somebody yelling, trying to get out. What are you?
See? Wonder why I got no trick or treating.
It grabbed me.
all right. Dave, let him know.
Yo, I'm on Instagram, Energon Addict, David Colon in the Facebook groups, here on Tuesdays. JD, I really like your hat.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah. I just realized it was Boba Fett all this time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
even got
Nice.
Yeah.
got my little rangefinder. Yep.
I like it.
I like you. So
Aw.
All right. And I'm Harrican BX. Check me out usually here on Mondays on ETR, Tuesdays BTM, and online on all your platforms out there. Check me out. No big speech, guys. Just thank you for being a part of what we do. Check out the Hangout link. Check out the other shows on the Cool Table, and we'll be back with you with a new episode very, very soon. All right. Take care. Stay safe. Peace out. Give it to me, G.
Guns out, Gary. See those guns? Put those guns away, Gary.
Say it with me now. Really?